What's going on, everyone? It's JDC here, back in a video, and today I'm going to be talking about how Rafael Stone saved the Houston Rockets and how he kind of turned this sinking ship of a franchise into a future championship contending team. Before that, really quick, I'm going to need you guys to drop a like down below, press the subscribe button. It would really help with the algorithm, help grow the channel to other people like Houston Rockets content, and help grow the channel in general. So I need you guys to hit the like button down below, press the subscribe button, and let's get into the video. So we all know Rafael Stone came in the offseason to replace Daryl Morey as the head GM of the Houston Rockets, and for the most part, Rafael Stone has done a pretty good job as a rookie GM. Not the best job, but also not the worst job. He definitely brought in a ton of good pieces that were basically diamonds in the roughs, like Jayshawn Tate, Sterling Brown, and David Nawaba. But also getting some picks back, in that James Harden trade, even though those Brooklyn Nets picks might honestly be late first rounds, definitely props to Stone for getting 4 firsts for Harden, but we'll get on that. We'll get on the big time trades later, but let's talk about the big transaction made by Rafael Stone first, which is bringing in C. Wood in the offseason. Rafael Stone signed Christian Wood to a 3-year, $41 million deal, which is basically $13 million for 3 years. So definitely a good pickup by Rafael Stone. And this is a player that was coming off a fresh season, a great season off of Detroit. Averaging 13.1 points and shooting basically 38% from 3 and 56% from the field. Christian Wood in the offseason was definitely a surprise for every Rockets fan. Even though if no Houston Rockets fan knew who he was, people were searching up his highlights, and once they found that out, everyone knew that we got a really good free agent, and on a pretty cheap deal too, only $13 million. So I'm really glad that not only Rafael Stone decided to pick this guy up and actually sign this deal, but I'm also kind of grateful that Christian Wood kind of took on that deal and is willing to play for this Houston Rockets team. But not only that, but he also brought in Sterling Brown, which has been a really great surprise for us. And off the bench, he's actually been really producing for us. Over the season, he's averaging 8.2 points on basically 44% from the field and 42% from 3, which is pretty amazing. Sterling Brown is one of the better productive bench players on our bench right now, and quite honestly, we need to bring this guy back in the offseason. But Sterling Brown, even though he's out right now with I think it was a knee soreness, it's definitely, I could see him definitely being a good bench piece in our future, and kind of helping us get to that scoring level that we need, kind of like an Eric Gordon type player. They definitely have some similar play styles. They could both play defense, could shoot the 3 ball pretty well. And definitely a good, he probably could become our 6th man if he wanted to, but I highly doubt that. But the next player that we're going to be talking about is bringing in David Nawaba. Now, David Nawaba is someone that, quite honestly, brings a lot of energy to the team, and someone that's a defensive anchor, bro. This guy can play defense with a high energy, plays at a high level, and over the season, he's averaging 9.2 points on 48% from the field, and even though he's shooting 27% from 3, he's still willing to take that 3-point shot, which is good. He's not afraid of taking that shot. He's someone that also plays with a lot of energy and makes a lot of hustle plays. And yeah, honestly, like David Nawaba, before going down with his injury, he was actually such a trooper, playing through that wrist injury, coming in for us. But it's sad to see that he's out for I don't even know how long he's gonna be out for, but hopefully he comes back soon, or at least before the season ends, so we can see this guy ball out. But the next thing we're gonna be talking about is trading John Wall for that trading Russell Westbrook for that John Wall and a first pick. So at the time when Russell Westbrook requested a trade, it was pretty clear that his contract was unmovable. No team wanted to pick him up except for the Knicks, who I highly doubt would have picked him up anyways, because of the salary. But getting John Wall in the first, even though it doesn't look good right now for us, it's definitely good that we got a first and John Wall, because if it was just Russell Westbrook and John Wall straight up, then this probably would have been the worst trade that Rafael Stone has made. So definitely getting that first pick with the Wall is actually a good move by Rafael Stone, but I think I still rather have Russell Westbrook on this team than John Wall, because Russell Westbrook right now is averaging a triple-double, a 20-point triple-double at that. So, even though it's not looking good for us, and John Wall been kind of subpar this whole season. Definitely props to Stone for at least getting a pick for Wall, and add on to our first round pick collection in the future. So now the next transaction we're going to be talking about is getting KPJ for a second round pick. Now, Kevin Porter Jr., we absolutely robbed the Cleveland Cavaliers, and everyone knows it. When this transaction came out, KPJ, everyone knew that we stole this guy from the Cavs. This guy was a first-round picked at 30th by the Milwaukee Bucks, then traded to the Cavs, which then he got traded to the Houston Rockets for a second-round pick. So, getting a first-round talent for a second-round pick is definitely a steal, no matter which way you look at it. He's averaging 15.4 points throughout the season, on 42% from the field, it's not bad. But then he's shooting 26% from 3, which is horrible. So I definitely like Kevin Porter Jr. to raise up that 3-point percentage and kind of be more efficient. Even though he had a really good outing last night, had 22 points and 14 assists. So yeah, and that's also another thing. Kevin Porter Jr. 6.6 assists. He's been a really good playmaker this whole season. 14 dimes last night was his career high. So definitely he could become our future playmaker, and honestly, I want this guy to be our starting point guard or shooting guard in the near future. Assuming that we get Cade, we could put Cade beside Kevin Porter Jr. and those two could work out, man. And but the next transaction we're going to be talking about is bringing Jayshawn Tate. Now, Jayshawn Tate is the definition of finding a diamond in the rough, because this guy has been producing for us. I'm not going to lie. Jayshawn Tate, he's third in the Rookie of the Year race right now, and he's averaging 10.9 points on 51% from the field and 31% from 3, which is really good, because before the stretch of Jayshawn Tate, on an absolute tear, Jayshawn Tate wasn't really shooting the 3-point well. I think it was like at one point it was at like the 20%, somewhere around that. But Jayshawn Tate turned it up after the All-Star break, and it's really showing. This guy's third in the Rookie of the Year race right now, even though LaMelo Ball is out and James Wiseman's out. So Jayshawn Tate definitely deserves to be in the conversation for an All-Rookie First team, man. Props to Stone for finding this guy, finding an All-Rookie First caliber All-Rookie First caliber player, and kind of developing him into someone that could definitely be a good role player for us, maybe even a star. But that's kind of reaching for Jayshawn Tate to be a star. But crazier things have happened. And the final transaction we're going to be talking about, well, second last transaction, is Armoni Brooks. Now, Armoni Brooks last night scored 14 points in just 14 minutes, and over the season he's averaging 7 points on 62% from the field and 57 from 3. Now, his stats don't really reflect how much he's played, because this is basically a small sample size. I think he's only played like 2 or 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. But Armoni Brooks is a sniper, man. This guy definitely showed some flashes of being able to shoot the 3 ball really well at a high level, can catch and shoot the 3, can spot up the 3. So definitely someone that could use that we can use in the future, and could be a really good 3-point shooter for us in the future, off the bench maybe, or I highly doubt that he starts in the future, but if he develops more, gets more experience in the league, definitely gets more defense, then this guy could potentially be a good role player on a bench, and maybe a starting small forward or shooting guard. So, and the final transaction we're going to be talking about is getting Kenyan Martin Jr. Now, Kenyan Martin Jr. has been a surprise for everyone this whole season, for every Houston Rockets fan, because KJ Martin is definitely one of the fan favorites on the team. Averaging 7.1 points on 55% from the field and 40% from 3. Now, at the beginning of the season, KJ Martin didn't look all that impressive, only getting like a couple of points, but he really turned it up after getting called up from the G League, and he definitely improved his game, which is something that's surprising. He definitely improved his 3-point percentage, shooting 40%. That was something that everyone was kind of worried about when KJ Martin got called up from the G League. He wasn't shooting it that well in the G League, so definitely good to see KJ Martin develop his 3-point shot, and kind of shooting at a high clip. But KJ Martin's also a defensive beast. This guy basically blocked every 7-footer in the league, and it was it was just so amusing to see Kenyan Martin block those 7-footers, man. Like, this guy, we got him for basically nothing, man. He was a second round pick, and props to Stone for finding this guy. So definitely, like, Rafael Stone has definitely made a lot of great trades this offseason and regular season. So but the one downside to Rafael Stone that I don't like is that he botched two of our big trades this season, with the James Harden and the Victor Oladipo trades. So we'll first get into the James Harden trade. So everyone thought that James Harden would either get traded to the Brooklyn Nets or the Philadelphia 76ers before he got traded. And everyone thought that we could have gone Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, and probably a first or 2 seconds for James Harden, but we traded him to the Nets for Karis LeVert, we traded Karis LeVert for Victor Oladipo. We got Dante Exum, Rodions Kurucs, and 4 first-round picks and 4 pick swaps. Now, I will say that for getting 4 first-round picks and 4 pick swaps is good, but these are going to be low-end, late first-round picks, so it doesn't really make sense that we'd get late first-round picks for James Harden's caliber. So, I'm just gonna say this right now. That was definitely not the best trade. We definitely lost that trade. We could have had Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen. But even better, we could have had Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, and Tyrese Maxey. And Rafael Stone didn't pull that trade. I think the breaking factor was basically the picks, but I don't really care about the picks. If we're getting a star for James Harden, then that's fine. We almost got a young star for James Harden, and it didn't go through. So that's definitely a disappointment from the Rafael Stone for making that trade. But we just gotta look past it, man. Hopefully those picks convey out to be like really valuable in the future, because we have their picks until 2027, which the Nets could probably stay for 4 years. Actually, not 4 years, for 6 years. As a super team, but with Kevin Durant at 32 years old, James Harden at 31, and Kyrie at 28, I highly doubt that they could actually stay together as a team. But only time will tell if those picks are going to be valuable in the future. So, and the other trade that we're going to be talking about is the Victor Oladipo trade, which is a trade that was very controversial at the time. Trading Victor Oladipo for Kelly Olynyk, Avery Bradley, and a pick swap. But for right now, it looks like we are winning that trade because Kelly Olynyk has been balling for us, averaging 11.3 points on 46% from the field and 32% from 3. Kelly Olynyk has been definitely a surprise for everyone this season when he came to the Rockets. He even said himself that he was excited to play for the Rockets. So definitely someone we need to bring back in the offseason, and definitely someone that could definitely be a good role player on our team in the future. So, Avery Bradley, he's 30 years old. I wouldn't really want to bring him back. He's kind of whatever. So, but going back to the trade, at that time, it looks like we got robbed because, Victor Oladipo, with his talent, getting traded to the Heat for only Olynyk and Avery Bradley in a pick swap. It definitely looked like a steal, but, in his first 2 games, Victor Oladipo didn't do that good. He only averaged, in those 2 games, it was like 6 and 4 points, if I believe. I'm not too sure about that, but, and he went down with I think it was a knee injury. So, but he also had 18 points in that game. So basically, time will only tell to see if that trade is going to be good. But for the most part, right now, it looks like we're in favor of winning that trade. So, yeah, overall, Stone has made this Houston Rockets franchise better than it was earlier in the season, and he kind of saved this team from kind of sinking and kind of turned it into a future championship contending team. So definitely props to Stone for picking up a lot of pieces that could be really valuable to us in the future, and definitely excited to see where this Houston Rockets team is going to go in the future. But that's it for me. If you guys liked the video, drop a like down below, press the subscribe button. It would help the algorithm, help grow the channel in general, help grow the channel to the people like Houston Rockets content. So I need you guys to drop a like down below, press the subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.